So a lot of knife companies have like big vibratory tumblers or something that's really industrial looking. Over the years, we found that these little bastards with various kinds of media in them are really effective for doing knives in the sort of batches that we make them in here. Even though we'll do like a 200 piece run, we still actually make knives in batches of 20. Over here is a section of parts. When we have parts that are machined at a machine shop, it's like 2 miles down the road from us. They come here first, they get inspected before they get any other processes done to them. This was actually the inspection table for the Fortis 2.0s, and a bunch of them actually got rejected. We were very selective on those. Chris got a little photo booth over there. And then all that stuff in the back right there, that's all just maintenance stuff, right? We have machinery, this is a facility, so you gotta have maintenance stuff. Like you gotta rebuild things and have to do other shit. Let's go this way. This is my little manual mill. Turn on the light. It's very unimpressive, and yet I have made hundreds of knives just using this little manual mill. This is a super cute little, relatively inexpensive thing. It's just precise enough for what I need it to do. Maybe one day we'll get to have a better one.
One day.
Hey Chris, one day?
One day we'll get a Bridgeport.
And then now we're going into the dirty room. So the dirty room is intentionally sealed off-ish from the rest of the shop because this is where all of the nasty crap happens. It's actually really clean. Somebody did some sweeping. Did you do that, Chris?
I did some sweeping.
Okay. So we have an air filter in here to filter out some of the nastiness. Most of the time when we're working back here, we're wearing breathing apparatus because dust from metals is not good for you, and the dust from the abrasives from the grinders and stuff is also quite terrible for you. Also, this room is actually one of the coolest rooms in the shop, temperature-wise. It used to be a walk-in freezer, and we have an air conditioning vent that blows directly into here, and so it gets downright chilly in here from time to time. So what you're looking at is what we call the grinding bench. So we have 272 by 2-inch grinders. We have two really, really basic, what are they, 4 by 36-inch grinders. And these have glass platens. It's an easy and an inexpensive way to take a pretty basic piece of machinery and make it relatively flat. And whenever these get any kind of dipping or bowing in them, we break them off and put on a new piece of glass. I actually learned that from R.J. Martin. We have a wall of belts. We have a rack of materials. There's all kinds of steel. And you're seeing water jet drops strewn about the shop all over the place. One of these days, we're going to actually sell those for scrap material. One of these days. Some of the more important stuff that gets used on a daily basis in here would be the bead blaster booth. We bead blast a lot of stuff here. And then some of the other really important ones are Scotch-Brite wheels. We do a lot of Scotch-Brite wheels. Christopher's nemesis, the buffer.
Buffing wheel. Most dangerous piece of equipment in the shop.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
By far. Scotch-Brites.
And that's the dirty room. A lot of knives were made in this place with this minimal level of equipment. A lot.
Thousands.
Come on out, Chris. All right, next up we're gonna go to the drill press and fit up area. Oh good, you made it. Airplane. So we have a bunch of different drill presses. I'd actually like to have more. Chris doesn't let me have more. We have stuff of varying quality and stuff of varying price point. So like that's probably one of the more expensive drill presses. And it has one job, it does counterbores. That's its entire job. We have the next most expensive drill press is that little guy. Believe it or not, those buggers are expensive. It is the most precise drill press we have. And we use that one for setting D10 holes in blades and some other things. And then all these other ones are kind of whatever we need them to do, whether it's reboring a hole, counter boring something, countersinking something with an odd bit that we don't use all the time. And then there's the fit up table. which is where Christopher and I spend a lot of time when we're out here in the shop, and it is always in a state of constant disarray. The scary part is I know where everything is all the time. And whenever we do clean it up, or have someone clean it for us, then we can't find anything. It's real neat. My space is currently devoid of a bunch of things.
Mine is not.
Christopher's is not. On the other side, we have kind of a staging area. When we're processing larger amounts of stuff, larger amounts of parts, they tend to get laid out there as we're doing finished work to them, as they're getting color, as they're getting tumble, as they're getting ano. They live over there. And then eventually they migrate over to Chris and I spots where they get put together into final knives. And that's essentially our entire shop. It's pretty simple. We don't have a lot of heavy machinery here. At this point in our careers, we actually like having experts doing expert things, and that means having a machine shop that's right down the road. It's an aerospace machine shop, doing what they do best, which is machining high quality parts.